Imagine showing up to a singles event and you're walking in, and to your surprise, you see a sea of women, but no men. No men. But the story doesn't end there. It gets really interesting. In this episode, we're going to be following two women. There's going to be some other topics here that you guys are going to, I believe, enjoy. But let's check out why this is one of the most strangest experience that this specific creator had in Charlotte with this video titled Charlotte Speed Dating Event. Let's get it.
Alrighty, y'all, fit check. Headed to a speed dating event that I am not excited about. This is actually my worst nightmare. But here we are, trying new things in 2025 in the name of IRL dating and deleting the apps. So here we go. Oh, and here's the full fit. Cute, but like a little sexy. I don't know. Maybe too sexy. Who cares? Whatever. Bye. As I'm driving here, I'm realizing I actually really don't want to do this. Really don't. Like everything in me wants to turn around and go home. You know when like your hair just didn't turn out how you wanted it to, and parking was hard, and you're breaking out, and you're just kind of trying to find any reason you possibly can to go home? That's me right now. About to walk in here.
So she doesn't seem excited at all to head to this event.
I need to fix my attitude. Men act like the prize simply because we outnumber them. We outnumber them, like truly. Like in there was like 75 women and 10 men. 10. I have so much to tell you. I lasted 17 minutes in there. Worst and only dating event I've ever been to.
All right, so you guys heard it for yourself. If you didn't, here's the recap. If you guys haven't noticed, the last part of this video is her, here, we're gonna move here, is her walking back from the actual singles event. I want you to pay close attention to what she says right there. She says, you know, men think they are the prize because we outnumber them, right? Men think they are the prize because we outnumber these men who believe they are the prize. And then she goes on to say that at the event, they were 10 men to like 75 women. She says she has more to share. We're going to check that out real quick. As you guys know, this isn't the first time we've heard chicks complain about like singles mixers, mainly complaining about how men don't actually attend those mixers, right? Maybe because they don't serve coffee there. Who knows? Men like coffee. At least the smart ones do. I released this video that was titled, Men Are Refusing to Attend Singles Events and Modern Women Are Devastated.
So I went to a singles event, and when I got there, it was literally 90% women. And I was like, I'm gonna go now.
But even in that video, the chicks had the same question. Where are the men? Why aren't they attending singles events? In this video that we're gonna see, which is a follow-up to the chick who went to the event in Charlotte, she explains what exactly happened. This is gonna be crazy. And why this was the most unhinged dating experience of her life. Let's check it out.
Just got back from the most unhinged speed dating event of my entire life. Dating in Charlotte is a problem. Honestly, this needs to be studied. This experience needs to be studied. Having been here for only 6 months, coming from Houston, Texas, this is not normal. This is not okay. So I will preface this by saying I did not want to go. This is not my cup of tea. This is not how I generally meet people. I was very concerned and very anxious, going into this. I really was. Like, truly. I tried to get out of it multiple times. I texted my best friend. I was like, I just don't think I should go. She was like, no, you need to get out there. Stop meeting men on these apps. Start meeting men in real life. As we know, men don't approach women as much in real life. So a speed dating event felt like the perfect place to meet men where they would feel comfortable approaching women and women would feel comfortable being approached. So got dressed, got cute, put that shit on, might I add, okay?
Right.
And headed on down there, okay? Here's where everything went wrong. Now, the event started at 6 o'clock. I will admit, I got there at 7:30. may be a problem. But the thing about it is the flyer said this is a mix and mingle speed dating happy hour. First of all, I don't even know that those words really go together, but to me, it felt like kind of a come and go as you please. So I didn't want to be the first one there at 6 o'clock. Showing up at 7:30 was also not the move though, because when I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? What do you think I saw?
What did you see?
Exactly what I thought I was going to see.
What?
80 women sitting alone. No men in sight. None.
She even has the video proof.
None. I promise you, I will overlay a video. There were I could not see one.
Wow, I saw some
women sitting alone. No men in sight. None. I promise you, I will overlay a video. There were
There's some big backs in there. I don't mean to be that guy. I really, listen, this lady herself, her outfit was pretty good. You know, I'm not talking about her. I'm just saying that maybe it was the angle. Maybe it was the angles.
I could not see one man outside of the people servicing tables at this place. So eventually I get the courage to go sit down with a group of girls at a table. And I'm like, yo, what the niggas at? Like, where are they? I know I'm late. Like, is there some sort of game going on where the men are in one room and the women are in another room? They're like, oh, girl, you just got here. You must not have heard. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, basically, about an hour ago, she came downstairs, took all the men, 10. Keep in mind, there's like 85 women and 10 men. She got the 10 men to choose the women that they wanted to come upstairs with.
Okay, we got a caption on top there. I'm not just pausing it for no reason. It says, apparently, many of the men were very uncomfortable doing this because of how awkward everything was. But if you didn't choose, she would choose for you. Let's keep listening.
With them. So the 10 men out of 85 women chose 10 women to take upstairs. Wow. And that's where they did the speed dating upstairs, while everybody else was downstairs looking at each other. Everybody was on their phones. Everybody was looking around like, what the hell is this?
Wow.
I have never been so uncomfortable in my entire life. The mismanagement, I don't even know where to start. This was a ticketed event. So the event owners knew, hey, we have 85 women RSVP'd and only 10 men. They knew that this was a problem going into the event. This was not a surprise. Right. And I figured there would be like a level of disparity between the number of men and women because speed dating tends to attract women and not necessarily men. So when one girl came downstairs from the 10-person thing, we were all like, girl, what's going on up there? She was like, oh, none of them are my type, so I just walked out. And they were like, well, we're going to have to replace you. She was like, go ahead. Like, I don't want to be up here. I was like, well, what were the guys like? Are they cute? She was like, girl, they're all underneath 5'9".
I'm trying to do what, Shisha? I'm trying to hold off my thoughts to the very end. I'm trying to be better. Wow.
She's like, and I'm 5'8", so I really only talk to men that are 6'2" and above. I was like, point blank, period. I'm 5'9", so I'm the same way. Like, I really only talk to people above 6 feet. So she was like, no, every single person was short. It didn't make sense for me. This entire like way that they're doing this isn't like interesting to me at all. So everyone was just sitting around waiting for the men to come downstairs so that they could have a chance to talk to them, I guess. I was not going to be one of those people sitting and waiting. I mean, what am I supposed to do when they come downstairs? Bum rush them? Especially after you've told me they're all pretty much below 5'9"? I'm out of here.
Let's keep listening.
I stayed for 17 minutes and then I left. Like after that, I had nothing to say. The cool part about it is 2 people though, they had seen my previous TikTok. So your girl felt a little viral. Slightly embarrassing, but also fine. I say all that to say that was so bad. And the planners, event planners, owners of that, y'all really got to get it together. Don't ever put together an event like that again. People left extremely disappointed. The only part I am happy about is that was free. The only
Oh.
thing I did have to pay for was parking, and I'm mad about even that.
Okay.
But
That's what's
truly
up.
so unhinged. I also, last point, I can see why men think they're the prize. If I was a man
Think?
dating in this day and age, I would feel like I was the prize too. To have 85 beautiful, good smelling, intelligent black women sitting in a room just waiting to talk to me, wanting me to pick them. I mean, I would feel like rookie of the year. I don't know what else to say. I would feel like I was the prize too. And I think that's what gives a lot of men this illusion of choice. On dating apps, it feels like endless women. For dating in Charlotte, it feels like an endless amount of women to choose from because we quite literally outnumber them by 7, 8x everywhere we go. I don't know how we're going to work through this. I don't. Feel free to give me ideas, but I can't see how this can work.
Ideas? Ideas to what? Ideas to figuring out how you're going to survive being single? I hope that's what she means. I mean, let's break this thing down, man. How is it that first she starts off with saying men think, right? We're talking about after she comes back, because here's the thing. I think a lot of people think to themselves, Chisha gets behind this mic and anybody else who does what he does. And, he's just talking shit. The truth is, the online space is all fun and games, right? It's fun to get online and start all these different movements from soft girl era and asking your man if he can split the mortgage and, all these different trends that go viral of women trying to show that they're never going to settle. And then they sit there and think to themselves, somehow they are still the prize. In a time and age where it's the hardest to get a man to get down on one knee, propose to you, how are you still the prize? I'm not talking about in the relationship when you both are working for the prize, which then becomes the actual relationship. I think things change, right? When you're together, the prize of the relationship, you want to make sure that that is good and you're both putting in effort to make that good. And in our modern day, if men weren't the prize, then you wouldn't be out here struggling to get something. You wouldn't be showing up 8 of you to compete for those 10 men like there's some type of medals. That's what this sounded like. The Olympics. I mean, I'm literally speechless at how this chick can sit here and say, men have this illusion that they are the prize. If the supply outnumbers the customers and the customer, which is the man, doesn't really want the product which you are trying to sell as the product, which is who you are. When you're trying to get someone to buy you, choose you, pick you. Yes, becoming a pick me. I know.
No, I'll have a tea actually.
You have to realize that the customer, which is the man, is the prize. I mean, really, guys, think about this, man. How hard is this to grasp? It's not an illusion. That's the reality, right? The reality was that there were 85 women and only 10 men. They were scared because they thought, oh, shit. You want to know why men don't want to show up to those things? They know they're going to be outnumbered. And then you're going to be picky on top of that and talk about how men aren't over 6 feet. I need to show you guys this video that I saw recently of this woman. And I'm not saying that you need to do what she did. But maybe some of you, just maybe, some of you might need to find a man who is the same height. Oh, horrible, right? Who's the same height? This reminds me of and I hate, it seems like I've just been on Kendra for a while now. But she went on that talk show with Tamron Hull, and the host, female married host, a wife, she said, my husband's actually a little bit shorter than me. I wasn't looking for all these superficial things. And if you compare the two of them and you could tell who's more grounded, who's more settled in who they are as a person, it's very obvious. I'm not trying to make stuff up here. This is reality, guys. These videos aren't people acting. This is real life. This is the video I want to show you guys right here. Check out this couple. He's at his wedding day. Right there, it's time for him to kiss the bride. What does he do? They pull out a stool for him. He stands on the stool confidently. And he kisses his bride. Now, this is a wonderful moment, in my opinion. And you have people who aren't here being hilarious in the comment section. This person says, bro saved his bloodline. Another person, so this is actually the groom. He responded and says, I appreciate y'all. If there was ever a moment where a man felt on top of the world, this was it, with the heart emoji. I'm the luckiest man alive. Now, I'm not saying in any, way that you should go out and make sure that you find a man who you have to grab a stool so he can kiss you, right? I'm not saying you have to do what is done here. I'm saying just maybe wanting a man who's in the top 14% of men is not helping you find your man, and is a sure way to be part of that stat. That 2030 stat of almost half of women being single and childless.
But I am getting ready to go to another singles mixer because I don't really know why. I think that this is just my year of trying to do things that push me out of my comfort zone. And I am a very introverted, awkward type of person that does like flirting. I do like banter. I do like having good, stimulating conversation. And the last singles mixer I went to at this venue was pretty good. So I'm going by myself this time. I don't have my wing woman with me. And yeah, I think it'll just be fun. I will give you guys an update if you want one. But I'm not going into this with the mindset of finding somebody or having like any serious connection. I just want to get out and talk to people and maybe learn something new and just have fun.
See, and I have to pause it. I'm sorry. That's the problem right there. That, that times have changed when chicks are desperate for singles mixers and they're upset the men aren't showing up. But on top of that, listen to how she's talking. I'm not really going there for anything specific. I'm just going to learn something new. This isn't that. That's a defense mechanism. You don't want to be let down. Some guys do this too. But to the guys who shoot their shot on a consistent basis, who are out here in the field on the daily. Yes, men don't approach women as much anymore, but men are still out here shooting their shot. They know they shoot. They shoot, and they shoot often with the intention. And if you don't have intention behind what you're doing, you're going to fail. And thus pointing me to the next point I want to make of a lot of these chicks don't want to compete over a man. That's a big part of the problem, right? They don't want to go and compete when you're going to compete.
Okay, because this is life. It's not that deep. I say this now, and I'm probably going to have a whole think piece once I get home.
All right, so this is her after she came back from the mixer.
It didn't go well. It actually was kind of catastrophic for me. I will tell you why. I learned that I am just not competitive enough to go to these singles mixers. I'm just not. So like I said, this was my first time going by myself. Normally I have my friend there as like a wing woman and a buffer, and that really helps me. But I am generally so anxious. Like it's just how I am. Like I can control it, but I'm just a very nervous person. So they had like these tables set up where people can like play card games, and I was at the table playing this game, and this guy comes, and I thought he was so cute. For context, it's very rare that I see someone in person that's like, oh my God, like you're really cute. He was even standing next to me while we were playing the card game. We had light conversation, intro, my name is blah, 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 blah. But then two other girls showed up that were like really bubbly and outgoing, and they started talking, and then it just progressed from there. And it got so bad, and when I say bad, I mean good for them, that at some point I was just like, okay, I lost that one. And I did talk to some other guys there, and it was cool, like very cool, friendly conversation, but it didn't really go much further than that. It was always like a one-off, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And I understand that like flirting and like getting to know new people is a skill, and I'm gonna have to just keep trying it. But I also don't like the feeling of like competing.
Tough shit. Tough shit. Tough shit. Welcome to the modern world that has been fought for so long. Women can do what men do. Welcome. You got out-competed. That's just what happened there. She talked about these women came, they were so bubbly. That's like the friendly, right? They were more feminine. They were tapped into that energy more. And depending on what's on your mental, depending on your life and how that's going, you can either fake it or actually improve your life. You're going to have to do something to compete. And gentlemen, let me tell you something, man. You don't want to feel sorry for anybody, because this is your life we're talking about at the end of the day. This is your life we're talking about. You want to make sure that you go out here and get a good deal. You want a woman who's going to compete for you. You want to feel like this woman wanted me. She wanted to pick me. She fought for me. She wanted to lock me down. Let's finish this video and then I want to make a few more points.
It felt really competitive to me, because when you're in a social setting like a singles mixer where people are there for like common reasons, it becomes really apparent what like the stock is, like the food chain, you know what I mean? Like they're always going to be the hot items, the people that everybody wants to talk to. Right. And if you fall outside of that list, you really have to know how to be a good conversationalist. And when I'm by myself, I'm not. And it's just an L that I had to take. But y'all, I left feeling so defeated, because I was like, oh my God, I had so much steam. I was so excited to just go out there and push myself, and I did not. I felt like I let myself down. Like,
okay, let me be nice for a second. Good for you for actually taking a step out. And listen, she said that she was nervous. Both of these chicks, they went out. That's props. Something a lot of these chicks probably struggled to do, and probably went out there and actually approached the men. But at the end of the day, welcome to a man's world. This is our modern day where you're going to have to shoot the shots. You're going to have to do what you claiming you are, strong, independent, so on and so forth, because no one is going to find your man for you. God's not going to do what he's given you the power to do yourself. So we haven't checked out any comments yet, and I just want to recap one more time on everything, man. So we had this first chick right here who spoke about how she showed up to a singles event, a mixer, whatever, and there were so many women that they had to hide the men in a separate room so that they don't get attacked, right? And surrounded and dragged away by the chicks who showed up to the event. So they had to hide them because there was just so much hunger in the room. She even brought proof. And then we have the other situation. Could they have gone to the same event? I don't think so. Let's read a few of these comments. Maybe. Top comment here says, this must have been Kendra G's mixer event. What? Wow, really? Somebody else here says, was it? That's crazy because she just posted as if it was so successful. And we have another commenter here who responded back and says, of course she did. She's got to promote it as success if she wants it to be successful in other cities. I knew it would be trash. So it's a Kendra G event. I was wondering if it was. My first thought, absolutely it was. Really. They should just, let me see. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Somebody else here added, I've never known a man who has attended speed dating, especially the ones above 6 feet. And so here are the chicks in here who probably are nowhere near. They could get somebody who's an inch taller than them, or maybe the same height, talking about 6 foot men. Like, what's the obsession? Don't you realize that you're setting yourself up to be alone forever? And that's fine, right? That's completely fine. Just don't come complaining online, because the caffeinated just will never take you that seriously. Here's another person who says, as soon as they said pick, I'm leaving. So as soon as they said pick, like which woman, so they brought the guys to pick which women they wanted to take up and do the speed dating thing. And as soon as they didn't get picked, they were going to leave. I don't think chicks understand that, like, this is the world that you have campaigned for, created through feminism. And this is the reality, is that you're not getting picked, and you're making fun of the pick-me's. This is only going to get worse. Another person here says, waiting around to get picked sounds embarrassing as F. You'll never catch me at an event like that. Women have literally become men. This is what men go through. Men go out, and women usually typically do the picking. Like they've switched the order out here and the roles and created confusion. That's the dynamic. Women do the choosing, right? When it comes to who they are open to allowing access to their bodies, interaction, relationships. But when it comes to marriage, men pick wives. In conclusion, I don't see this getting any better. I see some men understanding just how much power they do have if there are men who are considered desirable, right, by a large majority of women. They're just having their way out here. That's just the honest truth. But the quality of the chicks they're probably having their way with aren't that great. And if you're somebody who wants something more serious, it's going to take some work, right? If you're a guy, it's going to take some serious vetting. You're going to need to ask a lot of questions. I don't see majority of these chicks who are showing up to these events. They're all modern-minded, right? They don't understand. They believe they don't have to compete. They believe that they're the prize. You're not. You're not the prize. You're not. Your own circumstance and experience. Prizes don't outnumber the attendees at the dating event. They don't. It just makes no sense. The mental gymnastics that people go through to try to justify this stuff is insane. Yeah, listen, to my men, be careful. Make sure you protect your seed. Make sure that you make healthy decisions in relationships that you get involved in. Do not get yourself locked and tied to a chick who doesn't feel like she has to do anything at all to attract herself to you. And of course, protect yourself.